business. We'll start the meeting. Chair of the Governor Wentworth Regional School Board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are utilizing Hangout Meets meet.google.com. You can also view on channel 26 if you're in Wolfeboro and New Durham, or you can also view on the WCTV YouTube channel. You can also connect via www.GWRSD.org, and you'll find a link that says update of upcoming events, school board agenda, and just below that you can click onto the link to view it on YouTube as well. All members of the board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting and through those connections. Channel 26, you can watch it, the YouTube channel, and GWRSD.org. Providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting, including, however, to access this meeting using google.meet, or meet.google rather, or telephonically. Instructions have also been provided on the website of the school board at GWRSD.org.org. If anybody has problems, they can call 603-387-3865, which is my cell phone number. I've got that handy here. Or you can email me at jwidmer@sau49.org. If you want to use my phone number, you can also text me on that line. Sometimes it's a little easier if I have a text and I can just read the text and see what you'd like to talk about. In the event that the public is not able to access this meeting, in the event the public is unable to access, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. All votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. And I'll now take a roll call vote of those in attendance to start the meeting, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance afterwards. I know Krista Aber is not here this evening. Julianne?
It's Julianne Cardinal from New Durham, accessing remotely due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you. Tim?
Tim Eldridge, member at large, and on remotely.
Thank you. Wendy?
Hi, Wendy Fenderson, remotely accessing the school board meeting. I'm a member at large and I am home and at alone at this time.
Dr. Manning?
I'm Jim Manning. I'm home alone because of the pandemic, and I'm participating remotely.
Thank you. Jim Pittman?
Yeah, good evening, Jim Pittman, member from Effingham. I'm connecting remotely from home because of the pandemic, and I am here alone.
Thank you. Charlene?
Charlene Seibel, Wolfeboro rep on the school board, and I am participating remotely due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I am home alone.
Dana?
Yeah, Dana Streeter from Ossipee, and I'm attending remotely because of the pandemic 19.
Thank you. I'm Jack Woodman, chair of the board, again connecting remotely because of the pandemic, and I am alone in the room at this point. Superintendent.
Kathy Cuddy-Egbert, I'm here at the SAU office, and I'm here with Paul Mikowski, our IT director, and also a member of the public.
Thank you. Heather?
Heather Cummings, Assistant Superintendent, participating remotely from my home due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I am alone.
Okay, and who else are we missing? Kathy Oblinas, is she in?
Kathy Venus, Business
there you are.
Administrator. I am attending remotely due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I am in my camper by myself.
Thank you. Linda.
Yeah, Linda Murphy, School Board Secretary, attending remotely due to the pandemic. I'm home and no one is here.
Okay, and Connor.
I am also attending this meeting remotely, and I'm home with my family. So,
Hey, Connor. I think that covers all. I did check off Paul as well because Kathy, you said Paul is with you. So
Yes.
You
okay.
didn't get James,
James who?
Riley.
James Riley is presenting tonight.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Is
he
James
is
in today?
also part of the Google Meet.
Okay.
I am, Jack. Good evening, everyone. James Riley, principal at the Kingswood Regional Middle School, and here actually in the office, have the whole school to myself due to COVID.
Excellent, James. In fact, I had your name down and I forgot to call you off. So thank you, James. Okay, if everyone would kind of join in the Pledge of Allegiance, we can kind of get started with the meeting with the pledge. Okay. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Now, this is the normal day of our school year where we honor our retirees. And before we get into the rest of the meeting, we're going to have a presentation honoring our retirees. And this is a video apparently that's been put together. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm anxious to see the video being put together honoring our retirees. So Kathy, I guess I'd let you take it from here.
Okay, well, Paul is going to go and link it up to YouTube, and hopefully everything will, apparently there's a little bit of a difference between the audio and the video, but I don't think it's too much. It was perfect when it was recorded, but it might be a slight delay. But before we see it, I want to thank Scott Giesler so much for all the work that he's put into the video projects that he's done during remote learning. He has spent an amazing amount of time doing all of this in addition to his other responsibilities, and I can't thank him enough. I think when you see the graduation ceremony, you'll say, wow, you know, he's really done a great job on these things. So thanks so much to Scott. And of course, Paul making it all work on the computer and on Google Meet and out to the community. Kudos to Paul as well. So now Paul is in another room now, and he is going to click whatever needs to be clicked to make it happen.
Well, that's great. Just watching the little bit that I did when Scott was giving my speech and a few of the others, it is really amazing what he's done and how he's been putting everything together to make this year end and the graduation and everything that's happening as.
Good evening, everyone. This is the evening that we traditionally celebrate our retirees. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, it's not possible for us to be together the way we normally would tonight. We have some wonderful people in our district who have contributed so much to our students and school community. We want to honor them tonight with a few words, even though we must do it virtually. Each year, this is a bittersweet occasion for me because I hate to see these wonderful people leave our district, and yet they deserve a wonderful retirement, and it's my wish that they do have that. First is Cindy Joseph. Cindy has been in food service for 26 years. When Cindy applied to the district, she said she enjoyed children, cooking, and was dependable and liked working with people. This sure proved true during her tenure. She knows all aspects of the food service program, beginning at the high school as a food service assistant before moving to Tuftonboro as the site supervisor. After 8 years, she was promoted to assistant food service director and then to director. Cindy and I have worked very closely together with the rise of the pandemic, and no one is harder working or more committed to making sure our children are fed no matter what the circumstances. Even with no school and a stay-at-home order, Cindy made sure that no student went hungry. Cindy, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful retirement. You certainly deserve it. JOANNE Piper has been with us for an amazing 51 years in transportation. She has a lot of history with the district and knows every road in every town. The children love JOANNE because she has treated them just like they were her own. She's loved them, and at the same time she's kept them in line. Marianne Belanger, her supervisor, said she was a great employee, always doing what was needed and volunteering when there was a shortage of drivers. She has been a grandmother figure to children in many ways. I know we're going to miss you, JOANNE, especially the students. Best wishes to you. After 51 years, you deserve a terrific retirement. Next, we have KRISTEN SHEA, who has been at our high school teaching for 24 years. KRISTEN graduated from Boston University with a BA in economics and transitioned from marketing management to teaching high school Spanish, earning her certification through Franklin Pierce College. In addition to her teaching contract, KRISTEN has also served as a mentor, study hall supervisor, Spanish club advisor. KRISTEN is quiet and effective. Working with KRISTEN on task forces, I found her to be someone who always wanted to make a contribution without a lot of fanfare, and she certainly has been important in the lives and careers of her students. So KRISTEN, thank you so much and best wishes to you.
KRISTEN SHEA. When I think of Mrs. SHEA, I think of kindness, compassion. She is a wonderful Spanish teacher. She has impacted the lives of many students over the years. She is somebody I really enjoy talking to when I see her in the building. I miss seeing her in the building this past spring. And I know it's been difficult for our retirees as we've gone to remote learning. But things I'll always remember about KRISTEN is her willingness to help anybody, from faculty to staff to students. KRISTEN is a very kind, caring, giving person, and an excellent Spanish teacher, to say the least. We are truly going to miss KRISTEN, and I wish her the best of luck.
Glenn Wilson, 36 years. Glenn earned his BS in Industrial Arts from Keene State College and his master's degree from Bale State University with a double major in Industrial Arts and Administration and Supervision. Prior to joining the district, he spent 5 years in the Coast Guard, training in all aspects of damage control and attaining the rank of First Class Petty Officer. In addition to classroom teaching, Glenn served as a mentor, class advisor, alpine ski coach, baseball coach, and for many years track coach and department head. He has been nominated several times for the NHTEA Teacher Excellence Award by his peers. And in addition to teaching, Glenn has been a mentor to several students who have done some amazing architectural projects. One was a virtual reality project, which I had a chance to experience, and it was absolutely amazing. Glenn, best wishes to you. I hope you have a wonderful retirement.
Glenn Wilson. Mr. Wilson and I have worked together for many years, and I have a great deal of respect for his teaching and as Mr. Wilson, and for Mr. Wilson as a person. He is a leader in our building in a quiet way. I value his input when he gives that to me. He is considerate of others. He teaches 4 blocks a day for many years, and so he can impact as many students as possible. He has a niche with a group of students that he has been able to develop over the years, and students have won many awards both locally and nationally. He is somebody that is almost irreplaceable, and as head of the technology department, I am going to miss Glenn, and I'm going to miss his input, and I really have valued his input over the years, and I'm going to miss him as a person.
Alice Bartlett has worked in the Governor Wentworth Regional School District for 27 years. Alice graduated with a bachelor's degree in elementary education from UNH and taught 2nd grade in Massachusetts for 6 years before beginning in the Governor Wentworth Regional School District. She was a parent volunteer, a substitute teacher, and a secretary to the school board in Rochester, New Hampshire. When she started with the district, she worked 3 years as a reading aide at Carpenter School and then 1 year as a teacher covering a leave of absence. She worked as a substitute teacher and a home tutor before accepting a secretarial position at Kingswood Regional High School in 1997, where she has been multitasking ever since. In addition to her many duties, Alice also worked in our summer program for a couple of years teaching math skills. Thank you, Alice, for your many contributions. Honestly, Alice, you seem to have done it all. I know Alice plans to spend more time with her 9 grandchildren, and I want to also thank Alice for the kind words she has had for the students and all the staff as we have come in and out of the office over the years. Congratulations, Alice.
Alice Bartlett. Alice and I have worked together for several years, and a story when I started as athletic director, I think it was 1993. Alice's oldest daughter, Becky, who now works for us, was a student at Kingswood. And Alice wrote me a thank you card for something I had done for her daughter. And I still have that thank you card. And that was my introduction to Kingswood, was Alice Bartlett's kindness. And I think today, her kindness is still an example for all of us. She's thoughtful. She's thorough in her job. She's meticulous in her details. And she is someone that we're greatly going to miss. I really enjoyed working with Alice over the years. So best of luck to you, Alice.
Nancy Bell, 31 years. Nancy is an alumnus of Kingswood Regional High School, graduating with honors, and was a member of the National Honor Society. She moved from Wolfeboro for 15 years, and when she returned to work in Wolfeboro, she was a secretary for Jack Corbin Associates. After a year and a half, she joined Kingswood Regional High School, where she remained. She saw students pay a quarter to use payphones when she first started. And now most have cell phones and smartwatches. Nancy has certainly witnessed technology change over time, and she has certainly kept up with all of those changes. One thing that has been consistent is Nancy's dedication to students and staff and community. She works long hours to meet deadlines. She is knowledgeable and understands the policies and expectations of the district, and she has always been flexible about taking on new duties. She has given so much for 31 years. You may not know this, but Nancy is also a traveler, and it's time for her to continue traveling without the restrictions of a school calendar. Thank you, Nancy, for all the times you've made me smile as I've come through the office. Congratulations.
Nancy Bell. Nancy and I have worked very closely together over the years. We've been in the same office for, I want to say, 20, 22 years together. And one thing I can say about Nancy is Nancy is extremely loyal. She has done an amazing job taking care of me as a building principal and as the assistant principal before this. She is extremely supportive. She works very, very hard to do the right thing, and she keeps meticulous records. And oftentimes Nancy has had the information that I needed in a crisis or in a situation that needed attention, I can always count on Nancy to be there and to get me the information. She has extreme pride in working at Kingswood High School as an alumni and as a graduate of Kingswood. She has been part of our school community for many years, and she is somebody that I am truly going to miss. I consider Nancy as part of our family. So best of luck to you, Nancy.
Peter Howard. Peter has been with us for 3 years. He joined the Tech Center part-time after teaching technical material full-time for 29 years. Peter has always gone above and beyond to ensure our students had projects to reinforce lessons, which made it interesting. He's been very dedicated. The only thing that I regret about Peter is that we have not had him for longer. He is truly a gem and has done a wonderful job educating our students. So best of luck in retirement, Peter.
Peter Howard. I'd like to thank Peter Howard for his service with us here at Kingswood. Peter hasn't been with us too long, as he retired from Winnisquam High School and came to us part-time. My only wish is that we had more time with Peter. He's done an amazing job working with our students, made connections with our faculty, and really was a nice fit for our culture. We're going to miss Peter, and I wish him all the best in his retirement, his final retirement this time. Thank you.
Pete Llewellyn, who has been with us for 6 years. We've been very fortunate to have a partnership with the Wolfeboro Police Department and to have a school resource officer service our schools. Pete has been that resource officer for 6 years and has just done a wonderful, wonderful job. He's been incredibly dedicated to our students and particularly, of course, to the safety of our students and the safety of our school community. He's also been a coach and mentor to students and has been overall a wonderful addition to our school system. I wish Pete the best in his retirement. I know Pete also has grandchildren, and I'm sure he's going to have a little bit more time to spend with them now. Congratulations and thanks, Pete.
Pete Llewellyn. I've had the privilege of working with Pete for several years as our school resource officer, and as the building principal, we have often had times to work together closely. I appreciate Pete's honesty, his directiveness, and his willingness to work with all our students. He's been an integral part of our community. He's worked as a coach in several different sports over the years, and I've really grown to like Pete. He's a great friend, and I'm going to miss him, and I wish him the best.
Robin Cornwell, 36 years. Robin is an alumnus of Kingswood Regional High School and became a teacher in the district upon graduating from Plymouth State College with a BA degree in art education. She was chosen Art Educator of the month of September in 1992 by the New Hampshire Art Educators Association and again recognized in 1996. In 1994, she served on the Learner Benchmark Committee for the district's strategic plan and played a big part in ensuring Arts Night was successful. Robin also served as a team leader. She was involved with the Outdoor Club and Scenery for over 25 years. Robin is also an incredible artist in her own right. She's made some beautiful scarves over the years, which I could not see on display without purchasing. May you continue to pursue your art in retirement, as well as your love of gardening. Congratulations, Robin.
How could I not be speaking about Robin without being here in our room? This has been Robin's home away from home for many years. This is not only a career for Robin, it's a lifestyle, and one that she took on head on. In addition to teaching art, Robin spent many years devoting her after-school time doing set design and backstage work for KRMS Plays, as well as hosting art clubs and creating art with students to be used for organizations around here in this area. As both alumni and long-time teacher, Robin is Kingswood through and through.
Craig Howland, 18 years. Craig attended Worcester State College and received his BA degree in secondary education in Spanish and French. He also received a Master of Science degree in counselor education from the University of Southern Maine. He moved to New Hampshire from Maine and joined the middle school with 19 years of teaching experience. While in the district, he has been involved with yearbook, directing of the play, and summer school. He was also a member of the Unified Arts and World Language teams and served as an advisor with the Vista team. Craig is very quiet, but he has an adventurous side and was thinking about teaching in China recently. I wish Craig the best in whatever adventure he chooses in retirement.
In acknowledging Craig Howland for his retirement, I wasn't sure if I was going to talk from Craig's parking space or his classroom. I've chosen his classroom because although we don't have assigned spots, when you come in every morning, well before the sun, you get to select your own self-assigned spot. All kidding aside, Craig has always been committed to holding high academic standards for all his students and believing that they can meet those expectations. Over the years, he's also shared his interest in Native American traditions and culture by bringing in musical instruments and artifacts as presentations for adults and individual teams. We are losing a lot of classroom experience with Craig, but we wish him all the best in his retirement.
Dean Little, 38 years. After graduating from Fitchburg State College with a BS in elementary education, Dean relocated to New Hampshire, and his entire teaching career has been with the middle school. He earned his Master of Education degree from UNH in Administration and Supervision. In addition to his years as a classroom teacher, Dean taught physical education and served as interim principal for a year. He was involved with the intramural programs for over 20 years, and he was a team leader for 9 years. He was an assistant play director and has also coached football, track, and soccer for many years. He served on the middle school task force forums and a couple of different task teams for the strategic plan. I've never been able to be around Dean without smiling. He is one of the warmest and most engaging people I know, which is why he has been so well liked by his students. I wish Dean the best in retirement. I know he has several grandchildren he will enjoy spending time with. Best wishes, Dean.
In acknowledging Dean Little, I was going to speak here in his classroom, but I wasn't sure if that would do it justice. So instead, I considered here in the main office, where he once led this school as an interim principal. Better yet, maybe the gym, where he was also a PE teacher at one point. So instead, I considered to use this night to demonstrate how much Dean bleeds green and how invested he is within the Governor Wentworth Regional School District. In addition to all these roles and many more, Dean also served the KRMS communities in many other roles over the years and has made countless contributions in the lives of students he has encountered along the way. Incredible enough, when we talk about working to train your replacement, Dean literally did this and is leaving our school in great hands with one of his own former students taking his role. Dean, you surely will be missed, and thank you for your service. Enjoy your retirement.
Gail Doherty, 23 years. Gail joined the district in 1997 with an associate's degree in business from Newbury Junior College in Massachusetts. Prior to getting into education, she was a secretary for the Veterans Counseling Office and also worked as a flight attendant for Eastern Airlines for over 10 years. Who knew that? I'm always surprised by these little things I didn't know about people. Gail began as an instructional assistant and worked at Crescent Lake for 2 years before transferring to the middle school. During 2004-2005, she played an important role in getting the Student Support Center off the ground. And she has continued to do an excellent job with the behavior program. Gail has a great rapport with students and has helped so many children in her support staff role over the years Best wishes to you, Gail, for a wonderful retirement.
To acknowledge Gail Doherty on her retirement, I'm here in front of the middle school, as she has walked in and out of these doors many a times throughout her years. In fact, beyond that, she's worked in every single classroom at some point in her career, helping us here at the middle school. Gail is the epitome of a team player. She's been a tremendous asset to our school here at the middle school and our district. We're going to miss her greatly. She always is quick to volunteer helping hands for our rock concerts and some of our other performances on her own time. We greatly appreciate that. Gail, we wish you the very best. Have a wonderful retirement. We are very much going to miss your sense of humor. We wish you all the best.
Carol VIENS, 39 years. Carol earned a bachelor's degree in elementary education and a master's degree in library science from St. John's University in New York, and started her career in the district when she relocated from Rhode Island to New Hampshire. While at Effingham, she piloted a reading program, served on the Learner Benchmark Committee for the district's strategic plan, was involved with maintaining the webpage, served as a mentor, was involved in the Snowshoe Fitness Club for many years, and the Running Rascals Club. There is no one more perfect for teaching first grade than Carol. Visiting her classroom has always been a pleasure. Carol always made sure that we participated with her students, which was just so much fun. Carol, you will be missed. Best wishes to you.
I have the honor of speaking to you today about Carol VIENS, who is retiring from Effingham Elementary School. Many years ago, I heard the rumors of the first grade teacher who ran marathons. In recent years, I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with that first grade teacher. Carol, I wish you the best in retirement, and I know you're looking forward to time to devote to all of your passions and interests, including children's books and running that marathon.
Kathy Lee Thornton, 4 years. Kathy Lee joined the district as a skilled speech and language pathologist after relocating to New Hampshire from Pennsylvania. She came to us with over 30 years experience, 18 in a school setting. She earned her BA from Bucknell University, a Master of Science in Speech and Language Pathology from Penn State University, as well as postgraduate work at Drexel University, with a major in neuropsychology. During her years in the district, Kathy Lee has also been involved with winter sports at New Durham School and has worked with the extended school year program. We are very fortunate to have had Kathy for the time we've had. She is a wonderful professional, and as with Peter, regretting only having Peter here for 3 years, I also regret that we've only had Kathy here for 4. I wish we had the opportunity to have had her longer. She has been outstanding with our students. Best wishes to you for a wonderful retirement, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy Lee. We're so grateful that you came all the way from Pennsylvania to join us at New Durham School. You brought a great deal of knowledge and professionalism to the speech department, which we were sorely in need of. You know, I remember when you first came and you came into my office and you told me that you didn't think people liked you. Now, 4 years later, there's nothing further from the truth. Your colleagues describe you as kind, dedicated, supportive, thoughtful, encouraging, dynamic, and knowledgeable. Your speech students, including my grandson, have made amazing progress. Kathy Lee, you were a great fit to the special ed team, and you collaborated really well with people who were not in the special ed department. You ran a busy department on a part-time schedule. You're a great dresser. You have a common sense approach, an easy sense of humor. You're somebody who can be crazy stressed and hides it pretty well. You will be missed, especially by Clayton Randall, who will miss your cooked chicken livers. We know, Kathy Lee, that you love nature and hiking, and that you're going to make the most out of these future years with your husband and your children. Enjoy your traveling, and we will miss you.
Kevin Coffey, 20 years. Kevin received a Bachelor of Science degree in Special Education from Southern Connecticut University and a Master of Education degree in Special Education from Keene State College. He joined the district in 2000 with 23 years of teaching experience. In addition to 20 years teaching at Ossipee Central School, Kevin has also worked as a summer program teacher. In the Schools Out program, he has participated in the Homework Club, woodworking, and the Elfin Fair, as well as the Schools Out Talent Show. Kevin has worked with students with behavioral issues patiently and lovingly over the years. He has many interests outside of school, including playing the guitar, and I hope he is able to pursue these interests fully in his retirement. Congratulations, Kevin, and best wishes.
I'd like to speak about Kevin Coffey from Ossipee Central School. Kevin, you have spent countless years dedicating your time and efforts to creating relationships with some of our most behaviorally challenged students. You have taught them ways to be successful in school with academics, but also how to make friends. You taught them life skills and ways to enjoy life, such as playing puzzles and board games, learning to tie fishing flies, building a boat, and the enjoyment of reading. Kevin, thank you for enriching so many of our students' lives in ways they couldn't have without you. We will be sad to see you go, but know you have many hobbies that await you. Enjoy.
Peg Hart. Peg has worked for 11 years at Crescent Lake School. She is actually a Huggins Hospital employee who the district contracts with. She nevertheless has become an integral part of the fabric of Crescent Lake School. We have all developed a renewed appreciation for our healthcare professionals, and over her career, Peg has been one of the best. She has always been very professional. She takes her job very seriously, and she's a strong advocate for the medical needs of her students and families. Peg, your students will miss you, your colleagues will miss you, and I will miss you. I wish you the best in retirement.
It is my privilege to be sharing this celebratory retirement message with all of you, honoring Margaret Peggy Hart. All nurses are caring, diligent, acute to detail and procedures. It's in their nature and their breeding, I think. Having worked in several school buildings and districts, however, I can say in the short time that I've worked with Peg that she is the epitome of nursing. On top of her skills and approach with children, Peg just has an infectious smile and a laugh that you can hear from 20 feet away and through 2 cinder block walls. Peg knows her students. She knows their routines and their needs. She's the quintessential professional in ensuring that her kids are served with respect and care. The nurse's office at elementary schools can sometimes see some pretty interesting cases, and this year, even shortened as it was, fits the bill. Kids swallowed things that I never would have thought of. Came to Peg's door with concerns that were new to me, and I've been an administrator for 13 years. With each student, each case, each situation, Peg was calm and knew exactly what to do. Experience does this for a person, but dedication and devotion make Peg special and unique. Peg, we'll miss your experience and wisdom. We'll miss your laugh. We'll miss you. Congratulations. Please come and visit us at Crescent Lake anytime.
Lise Tierney has been with us at Carpenter School for 16 years. Lise earned her degree in business administration from New England College. In 2002, she was awarded her master's degree from Notre Dame College. While working on her degree, she did her student teaching at Carpenter School and was also a substitute at Carpenter and Ossipee Central School before she began teaching at Carpenter in 2003. I first met Lise when she was the clerk of the court in Ossipee and I was Governor Wentworth's special education director. She was very, very kind to me, giving me the 411 on how things worked in that particular court. The kindness and big heart has always stood out for me. It is her legacy to the students and the staff. I've also worked closely with Lise in her capacity as union president, and while on some topics Lise and I have had a different perspective, I've always enjoyed her and had fun working with her. She listens and cares about making the right decision for people and managed her union role with integrity. Lise, I'm going to miss working with you in both of your roles. I hope you have many good times in retirement. You certainly deserve it, and I wish you all of the best.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to wish Lise well. Lisa, I'm going to be honest with you. Last week when I received your phone call, I was a bit taken back as I certainly hadn't anticipated it. And although I wish you well, and I am so, so happy for you, I'm a bit saddened for the rest of the Carpenter community. Lise, your contributions to Carpenter over the years have been immense. Your love for children has been clear and apparent since the first day I met you. You worked diligently to create a classroom environment where all children feel loved, safe, secure, appreciated, and valued. And certainly that's not an easy job. You've shown much love and support for the Carpenter community over the years. You've developed strong relationships with children and families and staff. And I want you to leave us knowing that you are valued and cared about and that you have touched the lives of many. We have spent many, many years together, Lise, and I also want you to know that I'm going to miss our daily conversations. I'm going to miss your sense of humor, and I'm also going to miss you providing me snacks after a rough day. Thank you so much for all that you've done for Carpenter School. We wish you nothing but the best, and we look forward to hearing about your new adventures. So take care of yourself, Lise, and stay.
In conclusion, you can see that there have been so many staff members who have done so much far beyond classroom teaching, a very committed group of people, a very talented group of people, and I'm really sorry to see them go, but I do wish them all of the best, and I hope that they'll continue to be in contact with the school district because we're going to miss them. So thank you.
In conclusion, you can see that there have been so many staff members who have done so much far beyond classroom teaching, a very committed group. And I'm really sorry to see them go. I do wish them all of the best, and I hope continue to be in contact with the school district.
You can still hear some feedback. Yeah. Okay, it seems like it's okay now.
That was nice.
Great, thank you, Charlene. I'm really sad that we can't do something more for our retirees, but we do have a couple of surprises coming down the
the road, which I won't say any more about tonight. But we have been fortunate to have such wonderful people. And of course, it's wonderful people that make a great district like the district that we have. So I'm very grateful.
I thought that was very well done as well. Really nice. And you know, when you look at all the years these people have dedicated to the district, it really is amazing. So thank you all for doing that. Okay. If we're ready to move on, I think the next process to the agenda review. Is there anything that we want to add, Kathy?
Yes, I do have a couple of things to add. I wanted to add school facility approval, legislative update, and summer food service program. And I just did mention tonight. Does everyone have their mic muted? Charlene, for a second time.
I did Charlene.
Okay.
We back?
We're here twice. I'm not sure why, Charlene, but that's all right. As long so, and there's one more feedback. So, but I did want to just mention that Krista Abear's mom passed away last night, and I'm sure that anyone who is listening that knows Krista, she would appreciate your condolences. She did want all the board members to know that that's why she's not here tonight. So our thoughts are with Krista tonight.
Thank you, Kathy. Next on the agenda is approving of the minutes. The first is the Building and Maintenance Committee meeting from May 11th.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Moved and seconded. I don't see Julianne's face, but I'm not sure. Don't know where that's coming from.
We're working on it right now. We'll see if that does it.
Okay, there's Julianne. Okay, so Julianne, if you're on mute right now, but we've got a motion to approve the Building and Maintenance Committee meetings from May 11th. Those members present, obviously, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, who do I gotta check my little list off here. So we got James, James Manning. Who else?
Yep. Jim Pittman.
Jim Pittman and Julianne. Okay. All right. Excellent. Next is the school board minutes of our meeting of May 11th for the school board meeting itself.
So moved.
Moved by who?
Tim.
Moved by Tim.
Second by me.
Second by Jim Manning. Okay, I'm going to do a roll call vote on this again, just to be official. Julianne?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Wendy?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Jim Pittman?
Yes.
Charlene? Sure, Charlene, say yes. You're muted there, Charlene, but that's okay. It's okay. I can see your voice, your lips. Dana?
Yes.
And chair votes yes as well. Okay, and manifest. Do we have a total for the manifest? Kathy, you're muted. Kathy, oops, there you are.
No, I wasn't able to get into the office due to family issues.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to hold off on approving the manifest for tonight, and as soon as they're available, we can have the members look at them, and then we can approve them at our next meeting. Okay.
I do anticipate that being tomorrow.
Okay. All right. No problem. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is public input. If there are any members of the public out there that would like to Text me at 603-387-3865. I'll pick up your text message. If you'd like to email me at kwidmer@sau49.org, you can do that as well, and we'll try to respond. If there's any public input,
Well, do you have your computer still on, maybe? I just wonder if that's the feedback, or does anyone else have a device on? Because that could be the feedback issue if you have a phone too close or another computer on.
well,
It's happening on Charlene's connection, because when that happens, it highlights her. So I don't know if you have a second tab open.
I don't know what's happening.
You're on twice, Charlie.
Do what?
You're on my screen twice, one muted and one non-muted right now.
That's
weird. That's the problem, is you're connected twice to the meeting. So you got to disconnect one of them.
Okay, I don't. How do I do that?
At the bottom, I don't know if you have two screens, but I would try clicking on the telephone at the bottom of your screen, Charlene. And if that disconnects both of you, we'll reconnect you. We'll have you connect again.
There you okay, one of you is on.
Perfect. Excellent, Charlene. Good job.
Okay. Okay, let me just check. We're going to move on to student representative report. Connor.
I think we lost Connor.
Hello, Connor's there.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Hi, Connor.
I'm here to give you guys an update on what our graduation is going to look like this year. So, as many of you already know, due to the unfortunate circumstances, we're not able to have a traditional graduation. But I think we're going to have something so much more memorable than that. So, on Friday and Saturday, each kid's got an allotted amount of time to go down to this field where they're going to get to walk across the stage to get their diploma. Then on Saturday, everyone's going to decorate their cars and everyone's going to drive to Castle in the Clouds. And there's going to be a jumbotron. That's where we're going to present the speeches and everything. And it's just going to be, so yeah, that's just about it for our graduation. We're all going to go to Castle in the Clouds and watch a jumbotron.
So Connor, what's the sentiment among the students about that? Are students feeling pretty excited, pretty pumped up about it?
At first, they didn't really like the idea of not having a traditional graduation, but the student council was able to crack through them and tell them that we weren't going to have one, but we're going to have to do so much more than that. Yeah. So we're all excited with what we're doing.
Yeah, I think it's hard because we've not experienced anything like this before, but I think the senior class has just been incredible handling all this so well. So hopefully it's going to be memorable and a wonderful experience for everybody. I'm excited about it.
I'm really excited for it. It's going to be awesome.
Connor, while we have you, this is traditionally the meeting when the board takes the opportunity to really thank you for your participation as student representative, and having a student representative on the board, I think it's so valuable for us to understand what's happening around the district, certainly in the high school level. We can't be in the school building every single day, and to have a student rep on the board to give us some feedback and some input and some just history of what's happening within the building, I think is invaluable. And you've certainly been a great representative for all the students in the high school. So we really appreciate that. And as a token of our appreciation, when you pick up your diploma this week, there'll be a special gift for you from the board, thanking you for your participation. So again, thank you very much for all you've done during this year.
I should be thanking you guys. It's been an honor to be the student body representative. I had so much fun while doing it.
Well, thank you. You've been great. It's it's been terrific. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Connor.
Okay, we're going to move on now to the superintendent's report, and first up on the agenda is the Nelms report from James Riley.
Right, James, you're up.
Great. Good evening. First, obviously, I want to pass along my condolences to KRISTEN, her family, at the passing of her mom. So I know that she's pretty tapped into the middle school as well. So I do pass along my condolences to her and her family. So for the Nelms report, I know the board knows that Nelms had done a full site visit, and through that report, we've been working off that. Specific to this year, there's been some items that we've kind of really looked at, kind of the building schedule, teaming, those areas. Part of the report also talked about governing democratically in areas there that they had addressed. And then just overall kind of climate culture. That's kind of the work that we've kind of been really putting our efforts towards this year. Really allowing a lot of that data that we've been compiling and working with the staff, helping drive some of that as well. Part of coming in this school year and doing a lot of work this summer, trying to get a schedule that was going to help continue to increase our achievement scores across the board. And in doing so, we actually were able to what we called an A block. It's not block scheduling like the high school. However, we were able to offer 19 sessions with some student really choice and voice in those sessions. It was part of really the first part of the day after advisory where kids went. It was also allowed us to kind of provide some uninterrupted special education services during that time as well. We all know kind of time's our currency. So, given the confines of a day, we can only spend our time in a certain amount of places. So although some maybe didn't get a choice because of maybe their IEP or other services were required, it really was a great opportunity actually for students to work across grade levels and across teams. So we actually had some classrooms that had students in both 7th and 8th grade and potentially all 3 teams during that A block time, and doing a variety of activities there. That again, with that student choice, we're hoping to increase not only our school attendance, which of course we want to always look to do that, but if kids are in school, they're going to be a little more available for learning, and if they're available for learning, they're going to do much better on some of that achievement tests that we're really looking for them to do. So, with that too, this summer we worked really closely with our team leaders, and going into this year, we actually created more or less indefinite team names. It was part of the, embedded throughout the Nelms report was kind of some of that teaming and names of teams, and changed yearly, or with that it turned into a team leader name, and it just got a little bit much for what the Nelms report looked at it. So the team leaders really came together, and we created 7th and 8th grade teams names. Our 7th grade teams that are indefinite would be our team Quest and our team Delta. 8th grade teams, we had Team Summit and Team Trek, and then we of course kept Vista as a team name, as it had been, again, defining more the team and what the team makeup is. So little change, but kind of a big piece in a sense of just kind of identity. It's embedded a little bit with that climate culture as well, and kind of how kids identify and where they identify with here at the middle school. So we worked on that, and that kind of filters over into some of that, governed democratically, kind of giving a little bit of choice back to the teachers, and kind of building some of that school-wide components there. Part of the student piece and student voice, we have had a student council. Our student council, I thought, was pretty active this year. They worked to create 20 Thanksgiving baskets, which is pretty remarkable, those 20 Thanksgiving baskets, although we'd love to do more as one, our work with our local businesses and some of our grocery stores locally that help provide and donate some of those turkeys. Actually, I think all those turkeys. And then actually they were delivered by teams of staff. So it was nice to see our staff go in teams of 3 to 4 and drive around our district and actually go and deliver these baskets. So again, through student hard work and then the teachers kind of finishing that by delivering that. That was nice to. It's always good to go through and drive through this district, as large as it is. Sometimes we can forget on a day-to-day how big it is. And again, it comes back to that climate culture, just appreciating us as a whole district. And so that's been great. We did some great some spirit weeks led by the students. And then kind of that climate culture we talked about. We've talked a lot of staff about within that community and from the NELMS report. The language wasn't necessarily in there, but really breaking down some of those silos within teams and building systems. And we've tried to do a lot of work to build those systems. So, it was, as we're looking at our data, it's school-wide as opposed to just in little pockets. So we can see where that is and kind of work together on that. Obviously, climate culture with the student choice. We looked at some of that student choice. And, really this first time kids get to choose something in our district generally is that band and chorus in that 4th grade time. So now to have some choice in the middle school outside of that world language, with sometimes even parent encouraged to have some student choice in where they might go during that A block, again, allowed hopefully some of that student higher participation and more availability for learning there. And then schedules, we looked at our schedule a little bit this year regarding planning. We talked a lot about in the NELMS report, again, some of the planning piece. And we took our faculty meetings to once a month, which allowed it to really drive specifically through some of the work that we've been doing as a district around the data, specifically our language arts, English language arts, and our math data, and allowed us to kind of have that uninterrupted time to really focus on some of those things. Then, as we know, as a middle school, the teams kind of meet daily, but there wasn't all that time for content or curriculum areas. We implemented a once a week, Mondays, that the content was able to actually sit and work together, which was great because that also embedded in some of our content areas. We were able to work with our academic coordinators as well. For instance, some of our foreign language and even social studies world language, would come over and work with our in our department. So it was, again, just goal-based within the content, and it was uninterrupted kind of time that hopefully, again, big picture, some of that climate culture, but also that the looking at our instructional practices. Our team leaders, actually, as an entire team leader group, we actually did go down to the NELMS annual conference. Sometimes that varies with who kind of attends, but going down as a group was beneficial in many ways, looking at, again, helping build the systems here within our school, but also that time that's sometimes invaluable when you're together for that period of time, in and out of some of those sessions. So that was great. That was down in Providence, Rhode Island. And we also sent a data team that worked in the beginning of the year to help drive some of this work that we were doing through the DOE. The DOE finally had some money to kind of help a group that helped schools get a little drill down deeper into the data within their own district or schools. And so we had a data team that we worked on in the beginning of the year that had looked at that data as well. And then other than that, some of the communication we continue to do, parent-wise, teams have been incredible. They send out nightly emails to parents with what was going on in the day, what projects might be going on. Parents obviously would like the homework pieces there, what to do for homework. They continue to do that, which has been great. We started in the beginning of the year an Instagram page, which has taken much more off with our Facebook page since remote learning has happened. A great way to kind of get information out there in a central location that parents can receive that. But also, it's been fascinating. Our Facebook page, really looking at that's been a lot of the parent line of communication, where the kids have much more following in the Instagram. So again, looking at that platform that reaches the proper audience. And then just additional stakeholders, like I said, the community members have been amazing. They've been wonderful, from real estate agents to the local stores and grocery stores. That's been wonderful to have. Working with the local police departments in the district as well has been quite helpful in building those relationships to, again, help support families and children as well. And then just kind of giving you a next steps where we're looking to go as a middle school specifically, as that work around systems and looking at some of that the NELMS report is some of our general school-wide kind of expectations. As we're starting to see some of that opportunities for kids to work across teams. There's probably some of that need to look at some of that tier one, what we call it, kind of what all children receive for expectations, but also curriculum and instruction as well. And then, of course, as we know, it's highlighted more than ever, being in remote learning is technology, specific to devices, staff, student, but also instructionally in some of the software and even other opportunities that we have to use. So that will continue to be our work. We do, thanks to voters and to our the school board and our student support center, that we'll be looking to again help our school continue to build upon our climate culture with the work with our student support center going into next school year. And I'd be happy to kind of answer questions or clarify anything that the board might have for us here at the middle school.
Excellent job, James. Any questions for Jim?
James, I would just like to make a couple of comments. I'm really very appreciative of the work that you've done bringing a culture of kindness to the middle school, not only among the staff, but among the students. I think that's something very, very important in middle school, and it's something we talked about early on as a goal, and I think you've worked very hard on that, and I'm really happy to see that moving along. The other thing that I'm seeing moving along, which really which thrills me, is that we not only have teams, but I feel that you are bringing together the school as a community. And I think that's really important because teams do need their autonomy, but it is one school community. So I'm delighted to see the school doing more things as a school community. It's a great thing. And two other things that have struck me that are really important nuggets in that NELMS report, the 6 through 12 connection so that the middle school is linked with the high school. Again, really important to have that continuity to make sure that we're preparing our students adequately or more so for the high school. And then the look at the data, because we know that we want to have our students achieving at the highest levels that we can accomplish. And if we look at the data and analyze it, we know we're going to get further. So I know you've done all of those pieces, and I really appreciate that. I think we've been looking for a special person to lead the middle school, and I think you've demonstrated that you're that person. So thank you for all of your work on all of this.
No, I appreciate that, and again, not without the support from the superintendent's office and definitely the school board for sure. But really, it's, you talked about the community, but it's the first time as a district we get to have all these communities come together and the first kind of opportunity to really serve these families and these kids. And so it's important that we do come together and we do work outside of our walls a little bit. And I can't be more appreciative of families and the kids and their response to this year and their continued opportunities to seek me out and seek the school out and kind of work together. So, it is important and will continue to be the work that we do. So thank you.
Great. Well, thanks for your report, James.
Thank you, James.
Okay. So our next order of business is an IT update. And I have to tell you, I've been keeping Paul so busy. Everything that you can imagine, our whole district went remote in 4 months. So you can imagine what that means for the IT staff and for Paul. So he's trying to make all of this work tonight and also help us out with Middleton for tomorrow night. And so I said, so Paul, you all set for your IT update? And he said, IT update? I didn't wear a collared shirt. I said, Paul, I think it's okay. You don't have to wear a collared shirt. So Paul is just going to talk with you about what he's been doing. And it's been a Herculean task. And I can't tell you how appreciative I am of Paul. I think you all know that if he had not done everything that he did the prior year and a half, we would never have been in a position to provide the remote learning services that we've been able to provide this year. So I just don't know how to thank Paul. He's just done such a fabulous job. So I'm going to turn this over to him, and he's going to click on my computer so that he can join the group.
Yeah. Hello, all. It's nice to see you. Maybe I could borrow your jacket, James. That would be much better. Well, I think all in all, I feel it went fairly well, the remote learning. I think we were pretty well prepared, like Kathy mentioned. There were a few hiccups along the way. Of course, we were able to work through them and assist everybody remotely, which was really the tough chore. All the inventorying and all the imaging we did all of last year certainly helped. This has been good. It's challenging, but for me, it's been quite fun. I enjoy these types of challenges. We're just moving forward, still planning on making our infrastructure better. We'll be looking into this summer better way of securing our Wi-Fi access. That's on the agenda. There'll be a different way to access Wi-Fi district-wide, securing that up. We have some hardware to get out. UPS systems are all being replaced district-wide, so that'll be nice. We're also going to be moving out servers to the elementary schools, some simple authentication servers. Right now, data from all the elementary schools, authentication all has to travel back to the Kingswood complex and back out. It does slow things down a little, not horribly, but it could be better if we can manage these things right inside the building. We've been working on clever badges. Clever badges, I'm not sure if anyone is aware of what that is. Clever badges is a free product for schools that we can use and create QR codes for our elementary students in their Chromebooks. So kindergarten, first, second, and third graders, they could hold up their QR code to their Chromebook and log right into their Wentworth account without having to do all the typing in the passwords. I think that really would have helped over this remote learning right now, but we will be ready for that. That's what we're working on now. We've just got it going. It's a single sign-on service, so it'll actually, once they log in with their badge, it'll log them into other services too. And Seesaw is one of the platforms that they can log into. So it's a fairly powerful piece of software. I'm pretty excited about rolling that out. We all are. So we're all just trying to learn that software now. We have a new employee. Michael Bellington joined us. We're up to a full crew finally. It's nice. So we welcome Michael this week or last week when the weeks are running together. Last week. It was the first. And yeah, so it's been good. I would have more to talk about had I remembered I was on the agenda. My apologies. I was curious if anybody had any questions for me about the network or where we're going.
I guess, Paul, when with the access across the district, obviously for different homeowners, there's a lot of spots out there that aren't, connect very well.
Right.
And yeah, I know we had hot spots and all of that. If we have to continue this, hopefully we don't. If we have to continue distance learning at any point going forward, is there a solution in the works to make it a little bit better, or is a hotspot right now until the whole Wi-Fi business across across the land becomes better? Is the hotspot the best solution?
That is, I believe so right now. The hotspot is the solution. There's some areas out in New Durham, and there's areas in Effingham that just, there really isn't anything out there. And even the hotspots and finding a cell service, good cell signal in some of those areas is difficult. That's a fairly significant project, trying to get that Wi-Fi out there. And we actually have been looking into that. It's a big project, and there may be some ways of getting that out there. there's, I've been looking at devices as such as the hotspots, but maybe for buses. It's hard to, I wish that we could get it out to everybody. That would be so nice. But I'm thinking if we could maybe get something on some buses and get one of those buses out into those areas, at least the students would have a place to go if they could get there. And that's the other thing, to connect with that. It is difficult. I had maybe, I want to say 50 or 52 requests for hotspots. So considering the size of the district and the student population, it wasn't horrible, and it seemed to work out.
And you were able to meet all those requests, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's great. I you did a great job in getting them out to those people that really needed it, and hopefully, as time goes on, the whole infrastructure for the Wi-Fi and internet connectivity and all that will come to fruition. But it's a major project, not for the school district, but for these
community, all the communities.
It's if I can just jump in here for a minute, it's really an internet access issue, and I'm hoping that at some point, Jim Manning has talked about this at length, that we really need that connectivity that the school district can't provide in Effingham, New Durham, and Brookfield. It really, our internet service at this point really needs to be a public utility, and whether or not that's going to come to fruition, I don't know. But hopefully, it seems like there are some federal projects. Don't know when those are going to get to us, but hopefully, it sooner rather than later, because it's really needed now in the society that we live in at this time. So
it's a little difficult when we live in northern New Hampshire as opposed to southern New Hampshire.
Right.
That difference between what's available down south and what's available up here sometimes can be dramatic. So.
And I have to hand it to parents, because those parents that we couldn't provide hotspots to were taking, and it breaks my heart to hear this, but they were taking their kids in the car to libraries and sitting outside or outside the Kingswood campus so that kids could do their work. So, we can't lay the fiber and we can't do all of those kinds of things, but we'll certainly get every single hotspot out there that we can get out there. And I probably shouldn't. I mean, this is your thing,
no,
but
that was everything.
But
so I think Paul and you've done a tremendous job in making this process work, and again in very a short period of time, all of a sudden we came together, and kudos. You did really a great job.
I have a good crew. Behind me. I couldn't have done it without them.
Well, leadership makes a lot of difference. So,
thank you very much. Thank you.
And again, thanks to Paul, because this has been just an amazing endeavor. I mean, even tonight, to try to get the video linked and with the live stream and the television station, and he's worked very hard on all of this, and I appreciate it. So you're very welcome. Well deserved. So the next item on the agenda is the Kingswood Alumni Association update. Every year at this time, the Alumni Association does a report, and so I spoke with Christy and said she could do the report live or send a letter given the circumstances that she didn't need to appear here on Google Meet. So she sent a letter to update the school board, and it says, "Dear Superintendent Cuddy Egbert and GWRSD school board members, in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Kingswood Alumni Association welcomes a chance to keep you informed of our endeavors during the 2019-2020 school year. The presentation of our 12th annual Kingswood Regional High School Alumni Scholarship is scheduled for Monday, June 29th, during a virtual scholarship program released to seniors and families that night. The members of the class of 2020 will no doubt be remembered as one of the most unique group of graduates from Kingswood that Kingswood has matriculated in 56 years. I would echo that. 18 students from the class of 2020 submitted applications, and we will be presenting $1,000 scholarships to 3 of these students. In our mission to encourage and support Kingswood Regional High School alumni, we reviewed 6 applications and have selected one recipient for a $1,000 scholarship. This student is a member of the class of 2017. Our efforts to raise funds for these scholarships have been and continue to be impacted by our social settings and restrictions. The alumni golf tournament that took place this past fall in October 2019 was a source of good participation and financial reward. The 2020 alumni golf tournament event is truly up in the air. Further information may be forthcoming as we take small steps to adjust to the daily demands for activities, and that's certainly understandable. Our other fundraiser, the Red Sox raffle for the spring of 2020, was impacted by our predicament nationally, and raffles have been shelved until further notice. We will continue to be available for alumni communication and support, if not financially, then as a resource for planned alumni activities and reunions. We continue to maintain an alumni library and storage for archival materials. Thank you for your continued support and interest. Until we meet again, best wishes. Sincerely, the Kingswood Regional High School Alumni Association Executive Board, and Christy Smith is the president, Lenny Moore is the vice president, CJ Keniston, secretary, and Deb Scully is the treasurer. So this time of year, we traditionally, you traditionally take a vote as to whether to continue the funding for the Alumni Association. And so that's why it's on the agenda and why our report is provided.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve the continuing funding for the Alumni Association.
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Charlene.
Second.
Second by Dr. Jim. Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote again. Julianne?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Wendy?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Jim Pittman?
Yes.
Charlene?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Great, thank you. Next item is the reopening task force. The district has established a reopening task force to consider the best way to educate our children starting in September. Currently, we don't know the trajectory of the virus, so the district needs to be prepared to either open fully, open remotely, or to open providing a combination of the two. There are 31 task force members from across the district. There are 6 subcommittees: technology, health and safety, teaching and learning, mental health and social emotional considerations, and transportation. And in constructing this group, there's a cross-section from K through 12, all across from teachers to custodial staff, food service, IT. It's a real cross-section because, of course, in order to make this all work, no matter how we reopen, we need everyone's input and we need a plan for every segment of our school district. So I also want to say kudos to the people that have volunteered, because it's going to be a lot of work. There's a lot of detail to go over, especially because we have, even if we open and we're fully, we still need to have a remote plan in case something changes. We don't know if the virus is seasonal, so we definitely need to have a plan even if we do open in September. And I'm not saying that we will open. I don't know. Given that every department needs to work together and we need to work cross departments to make sure that we have a very well thought out and very well articulated plan. So we have right now 7 meetings scheduled, and the intense work is going to be completed in between these meetings. So I just want to say thank you to all of the people that volunteered, because they know they're volunteering and they know that it's going to be a lot of work, and yet they're willing to commit themselves to do it for the good of the students and the organization and the community. So, so kudos to them. If we may need to have a school board meeting in July, toward the end of July, to take a look at what the group has put together if in fact it looks like we can't fully open, or if that's the recommendation, because you folks are the folks that make that decision. And so you're going to want to look at whatever is put together and make a determination about what direction you think the district should go in. So we will, I hope, have a report for you by the end of July. And I know, Tim, I think you've had a couple of meetings with the Commissioners Task Force. Anything coming out of that at this point?
Yeah, we actually have had our second meeting as of today, and it's a lot of taking that survey that got sent out, the information that was tallied up in that survey, and starting to pull what those percentages and figures and answers look like. So we had today, and then we'll have next Monday as well. And with the amount of people that responded, which was great, they actually had to postpone our meeting to today because it took so long to calculate all the information. So that was fantastic. So at this point, nothing has come of it other than we were just pulling the information apart to kind of figure out the direction that we're going to be going.
And that survey was also sent out to folks in our community. There was a pretty short window to respond to it, but it did get sent out. I know that as a part of our task force, we're going to try to get a feel for the local community, because of course Southern New Hampshire, Nashua, Manchester is very different from what we're dealing with here. So we're going to try to get a feel for what we're dealing with here, and of course keep an eye on what's happening public health wise. It's really interesting to watch what's happening in Asia and watch what's happening in Europe, because they of course have come before us in all of this. So keeping an eye on those two things, and also what the CDC is saying, I think is also going to be pretty important. So lots of information to put together, and lots of unknowns, but we certainly will try to consolidate all of that and bring it before the board so that you can make a decision about what you think is best. Any comment, questions about that? Okay. Graduation. I think Connor did a great job describing graduation. Guy and I will be on Friday, and a good part of Saturday will be at the Arts Center, and families will be coming by to pick up diplomas and get pictures taken. Obviously from a distance, you know, making sure that we're following all those rules, but nevertheless, we want a chance for kids to get their diplomas in their hands. And I'm very much looking forward to graduation and the parade. And I have to say, I've had an opportunity to see actually lots of the graduation. And so that's probably one of the reasons I'm very excited. And I can't say a whole lot more about it than that, but I think our students did a fantastic job. And kudos again to Scott Giesler for the work that he did on it. He just did amazing work. And I think our students are just going to have a great time with their families, and I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. And all right, Wolfeboro Capital Improvement Program. Kathy O'Blennis has actually been serving as the representative to the Wolfeboro Capital Improvements Program. I asked her to do that last year. And Matt Sullivan recently sent a letter to Jack Widmer asking that the district appoint a representative to the Town of Wolfeboro Capital Improvement Committee. So I would like to recommend that Kathy O'Blennis be that representative.
Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Kathy O'Blennis to serve as our representative to that board.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Dr. Jen.
Second.
Second by
Dana.
Dana, okay. Second by Dana. Okay, again, roll call vote. Wendy,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Julianne,
Yes.
I missed Julianne, didn't I? Dr. Jim,
Yes.
Pittman,
Yes.
Arlene,
Yes.
Dana,
Yes.
and Chair votes yes as well. Congratulations, Kathy.
Thank you very much. So
Thanks for
I'll
doing
be
that.
very grateful that you've all approved my
Well, Matt was very excited that we'd be approving somebody, and he really had kudos for your service last year with the committee. So, he was very anxious to have you back to work with them. So thank you for doing that.
All right. So, School Board Association.
I really don't have too much. They're doing most everything online as everyone is. They are doing some of their webinars and all that, but and he's keeping us everybody kind of updated on what's happening on the different committees that they're serving on as well. But nothing too much to report on the School Board Association.
Okay. I do have our school facility approval for Kingswood Regional High School. The Department of Ed periodically provides a review for our facilities, and I won't read you the whole letter, but the letter is to inform you that the school facility review for Kingswood is complete, and your facility is in compliance with ED 306 minimum standards for public school approval. Your facility inspection was completed on December 9th by Marjorie Shoemaker, a safe and healthy schools educator with the Department of Education. And Phil Cousteau was in attendance and was really the sort of master of ceremonies of taking Marjorie around. And she indicated that all the documents requested are in place and are in compliance with state laws and regulations. And just that they appreciate the time out of the busy days and the dedication to keeping our facility in such good shape. And I do have a legislative update for you because the legislature is going to convene on June 11th. And there are a few bills up before the legislature. They're going to convene not in their usual chambers. Thank goodness. I'm glad to hear that they're taking precautions. They'll be in full session at the Whittemore Center on June 11th, and the Senate will convene on June 16th, apparently at the State House. But I do believe they all plan to do social distancing and implement the proper procedures, so that's great. House Bill 1558. This bill would require school districts to provide special education services to eligible students through the age of 21. Right now, it's up to the age of 21, which is the federal legislation, and so that would exceed the federal legislation. So we'll see what happens with that. House Bill 1454, and this is, I think, a very important bill because it seeks to return credit granting authority to local school boards for students who engage in extended learning opportunities and work-based programs. You'll remember that the commissioner was wanting to implement work-based and ELO programs, and that only the Department of Education, I'm sorry, not Department of Education, but the state school board would be responsible for granting credits. So they would be the decision makers versus the local school board. And it looks like there's legislation up to reverse that, which I think would be terrific. So we'll see what happens with that. School Transition and Redesign, Reopening and Redesign Task Force, and that's the task force that is the Department of Education is running, so we'll see what happens with that. And rule changes relative for remote instruction. There's a public hearing for the proposal that the standards would maintain where they are now in other words, that remote instruction could be the primary method of instruction in public schools. And the public hearing for this proposal is scheduled on July 9th, 2020. So the issue is, will remote instruction be considered acceptable as the primary mode of instruction for students ad infinitum? So, and that will be a really very interesting debate, I think. Also, the governor on June 5th, there's an order, order number 48 is something that the governor pronounced on June 5th. And it's very interesting because it makes pronouncements about the special education law. And while I don't know the details of all of the pronouncements, I think it's been a fairly controversial subject in the special education community. And so I think that probably between the governor and Department of Education commissioner and special educators, there will be a lot of discussion before we see the end result of that. So that's the end of the legislative update.
Kathy, one thing on that House Bill 1558 about special education through age 21. I was reading about that yesterday, and it was kind of interesting because everybody said, well, nobody's talking about, is there additional cost? What's the cost? Who's going to fund that? And of course, if you pass that, you have to provide funding for it. Otherwise, you have another unfunded mandate. So, and nobody's even thought to put a dollar figure to this yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what to do.
Yeah, I think so. You know, and it's you have to wonder too. No matter what age the school system ends at, whether it's when students become 21 or through 21, why isn't anyone looking at what happens when kids age out of the system? Because
exactly.
People need services, and so I don't understand why there's not a look at that. Not that I mean, I think we should do everything we can for our kids, but at some point they age out. So what happens for them after that?
That's right. I mean, whether it's when they become 21 or when they end at 21 and become 22, what's the difference? What happens going forward? So you're absolutely right. That's something that has to be looked at.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. And I have one more.
Service. Yeah.
And that is food service. And the food service program, I just want to let you know that it will continue over the summer. Karen Milkowski, our former assistant food service director, is taking over for Cindy Joseph, which I think is great. It's great when you have somebody that's worked so hard all these years and they can know the job because they've lived it. And I've watched Karen and Cindy in action with the food service program this year, and Karen's definitely up to the task. So she has already received approval from the New Hampshire Department of Education to continue programs at Kingswood Regional High School and Ossipee to feed all students throughout the summer. So the same schedule will be in place. The Monday pick up food for the week throughout the summer, which I'm thrilled about. And then Heather Cummings, Heather, thank you so much for your coordination with 68 Hours of Hunger, because those backpacks that go home during the school year with our students, they're going to continue to go home because they'll be distributed at the same time that our food is distributed by our food service program in those two locations. So that makes me feel really great about what we're able to do to make sure that everybody has what they need and no one's hungry. So kudos to Karen, kudos to Heather, and thanks to 68 Hours of Hunger.
And Knights Against Hunger will also coordinate as well with N68 Hours. So that will be a K-12 backpack program continuing straight through August for 7 days a week of food service. So we're very excited and thankful.
Great, thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
Okay, Let me see, on the chairman's report, we have a couple of things. First, a congratulatory wish to Maddie Majeski on the birth of her daughter. And we'd also like to extend our condolences to the family of Bill Lander on his passing. And obviously, Krista Hebert, we certainly extend our heartfelt condolences to you on the passing of your mom as well. While we were in session before, I missed an email for somebody that wanted to make a comment during public input. So she emailed me the comment, and this is from Karen Cotreau, I think that's where you pronounce it. And she said, for public comment, and I did email her back and tell her I'd read this during my report here. I would like to recognize Mr. Donnelly for all of his hard work in planning the graduation festivities for seniors. I can imagine how hard this time has been for him, and he has done an excellent job of managing and fielding parent questions and concerns. As a mother of a senior, I want to thank him and thought his hard work and effort should be recognized. Sincerely, Karen. So, and I think, just what's going on in the whole process, Guy has done a terrific job. Everybody across the district, I think, has just done a wonderful job in trying to make this graduation as special as it possibly can for the seniors. And I think it's going to be a great night for the whole production. So, and I think it was a very heartfelt note from Karen. So thank you for that. And that's all I have for the chair. Go to academic affairs under committee reports. Anything to report?
No, Jack, we don't have anything to report. And hopefully we'll be getting back to business here during the end of the summer in August and have more in September.
Okay, excellent. Julianne, I can't imagine you don't have something to say about the...
Well, I heard that we started clearing trees, but maybe Kathy can give a better update.
That's all I've heard. I've been keeping in touch with Zach Bingham of Barrington Power, and the porta potty arrived last week. Tim, thank you for the pictures that you sent along. It looked like there was some tree clearing, but they were chopping everything up there on site and chipping it. So I really, because I'm not as familiar with that site per se, square foot by square foot, I don't know how much was taken out. Maybe Tim would have a better idea because I'm sure you've looked at it more than I have. But that's all I know as of right now.
Jim Pittman also sent me some pictures the other day, and I think quite a lot of area has been cleaned out, I think, as far as we can tell. So our progress is being made. Okay, that's it, Julianne?
That's it.
Okay. I don't have anything to finance or human resources right at this point. Advanced planning, you can see down the bottom of the agenda, June 12th is the middle school 8th grade promotion and award ceremony, again, pre-recorded. June 12th and 13th is a distribution of diplomas at the Art Center for the seniors. Graduation, as we said, and I believe the cars leave Kingswood at about 6:30 on Saturday, the 13th. They go up through Wolfeboro, up Wambeck to Sodom Road, and then out to 171 down to the castle. So if you're anywhere along that route, I think it'd be great to get out and kind of cheer the seniors on as they drive by. And it should be a great event that's going to happen up at the castle. And then our next board meeting is tentatively scheduled for August 10th at Brookfield. But again, we may have a meeting in between if there's some updates that we need to talk about. And that's it. Now, public input, again, if there's anybody out there in the public that would like to comment, can either text me on my cell phone, 603-387-3865, or you can email me at jwidmer@sau49, and we'll try to get your comments in before we close out. In the meantime, while we're waiting, we'll take some closing comments by board members if there are any. Anybody like to say anything?
The this is Wendy. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk over anyone. Okay. I want to thank, well, probably everyone, you know, just in particular in my mind, the IT staff are getting everything up and running so quickly. The food services, never letting that lapse. And making sure the kids were there he is, you know, making sure everyone was well fed and cared for. You know, the teachers for countless hours, the support staff, the administration, my other fellow board members. I mean, I just cannot be prouder of the positive things that I've seen in the kids, the 2020, the kids that are graduating, just kind of rolling with the punches and, you know, just saying we are graduating no matter what that looks like. I couldn't be prouder of the district. Thank you.
Well, I can only echo that. I think, and I've made that comment several times, I've just never been more proud of being a member of this community over these last several months. It's amazing to see what's happened. So it really is a tremendous effort on so many people's parts, and very, very thankful to be part of this process. Anyone else?
I got something to say.
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
Connor, are you awake or are you still there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my mic,
Well, I just wanted to say
he's listening in.
First, I want to say thank you. I wore my King Louis Cross shirt tonight for you.
Thank you so much. I saw that.
And is there a rumor that you're getting an award somewhere?
I don't know if I'm getting an award, but I was told to watch the Senior Athletic Awards night on Wednesday. So
be sharp. Be sharp because I think you deserve it.
Thank you.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else?
I just want to echo all the previous comments.
Thank you, Charlene. Truly a tremendous effort on everybody's part. Okay, I don't see any public input coming in one way or the other. So at this point, I'd entertain a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A ;3 paragraph 2 for personnel matters.
So moved.
So moved.
Been moved by Dr. Jim.
Second.
Seconded by who? Sorry.
Charlene.
Charlene. So hang on a second. Dr. Jim moved. Seconded by Charlene. Okay, we're going to take a roll call vote again. Julianne?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Wendy?
Yes.
Dr. Jim?
Yes.
Jim Pittman?
Yes.
Charlene?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
And chair votes aye, so we are now in non-public. We'll wait for Wolfeboro Community TV to log off. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It was an honor to be the student body representative.
Well, thank you, Connor. You did a terrific job. Appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connor.
Okay, it looks like everyone is off that has to be off.
I'm going to stop the live streaming then, and we'll go into non-public.